Well, hello, everybody. It's Kick-Ass Kylie, and I have got Badass Martin all the way on the other side of the planet from Minnesota. So if you are catching this live, please say hello in the comments. Let us know where in the world that you're watching from. If you're part of our blue family, give us some blue hearts in the comments because we love the blue love. And we have got some really cool, exciting things to share with you today. So in case you don't know me, hi, I'm Kick-Ass Kylie, single mum from the Whitsundays. And oh my goodness, it is an absolute honor and pleasure. I was having a bit of a moment this morning, wasn't I, Martin, after we had no sleep and been up on training all night. And all of a sudden I just went, oh my gosh, Martin, like, you and I are on a call together, like we're building this business together, like we're strategizing. And I remember when I first saw Martin, Martin was one of those people up on stage training thousands and thousands of people and, this absolute celebrity, which he still is, by the way. And I just remember feeling always so starstruck. But what I love about Martin, like his passion and presence is second to none. But, this man has been my mentor for the last 8 years. I love him with all of my heart. He absolutely, is a heart-centered servant leader. He's one of the best trainers that I've ever seen on stage. And I just feel so truly blessed and honored to be able to partner with Martin. So I'm going to actually flip to Martin in just a moment and get Martin just to get you to share your story, because obviously there's quite a history of how you got into this type of business from really a broke waiter, right, to badass business entrepreneur and $1 million earner. So let's kick off with that. And then, I've got a couple of great questions I want to ask you.
Awesome. Well, I'm looking forward to it. But first and foremost, I am so glad this is being recorded because your intro was of me. Was amazing. like, okay, she's talking about me. Now I got to live up to it. Damn it. First of all, I love you too. It's so awesome that we get to work together again and really get to work so closely together. I am incredibly excited about the vision that you have and that that both of us share, not just for Australia and New Zealand but really the whole world. I mean, but in particular with Australia, New Zealand, and just that whole region, you have a very, very strong vision, and I am in complete support of it. And what's cool is that it's already unfolding. That's what's cool. So, just as far as my background with this industry, I was waiting tables 20 plus years ago. I'd worked in the restaurant industry for 20 years, and I had just hit a point in my life where I was incredibly frustrated. I wasn't living on purpose. I was making the money to just pay the bills and get by. And if I had some extra left over, hey, that was a great month. But I wasn't fulfilled. And fortunately, I got introduced through a couple of friends to, the network marketing industry. And I didn't understand it at first. I was introduced to a travel membership, and I was like, oh, what? How? I can't afford to travel. And like, that's why we're showing it to you. And, it took me a few weeks, really 2 weeks, to really get it and go, oh my God, this is amazing. And I had no idea that I would be on the journey that I've been on over the past 20 years. I absolutely no idea. Fortunately though, I've been able to travel all around the world. I met my wife, Jessie, because of this industry, and we have our 3-year-old son, Banks. And I mean, that right there was worth the $500 that I paid to get started. but it's changed my life in so many ways. I've met amazing people such as yourself and just great friends that I'm still friends with today, of course. And and yes, been able to make a lot of money and all of that, and that's been remarkable too. But really just the life experience that I've had, there's no way to put a price on it. And I am incredibly blessed and grateful for this new opportunity that you and I are with DreamTrips. And I see this as being something that far surpasses what we did before. And that's not to say, oh, we're going to do 7 billion, you know. Yeah, I believe we will be $1 billion company, but it's not quite so much just that. It's more about the overall impact that we'll have. And so anyway, I don't want to go too far ahead, but I'm super excited.
Oh, I love it. I love it. So obviously we're both a part of Dream Trips. We're both very passionate about travel. And so, Martin, in this particular industry, as we know, there are literally thousands of different companies, thousands of different products. And what we have is quite unique. You know, we all like to say we don't sell pills and potions. We do beaches and oceans. You know, the world is our product. And, you know, in a lot of other companies, people have to earn the right to go on an incentive trip with the top owners. And, you know, essentially that's a dream trip. That's our product. So we have an incredible new loyalty program. We have an amazing promo right now. We can get started for $1 and get 500 in travel credit. Like, it's just so different and so much better than the old program. So we'd love, like, from your perspective, what's different from what the old WV was to what it is now? And you know, why did you choose to come back? Like, what you could have done, you didn't even need to do this. Like, you've already got a very successful business. Like, why did you say yes and come back to DTI?
Yeah, great question. I mean, so I came back to, and I won't, and I'm just going to tweak my language a little bit. You know, this is a brand new company. This is not World Ventures. This is not the former company. And it's an important distinction to understand, because I didn't want to go back to the old company. I was incredibly grateful. You know, I was incredibly grateful for it. As I've said, you know, earlier, it profoundly changed my life. But I didn't want to go back. I wanted to move forward. And I just felt like other opportunities that I had seen, and you know, one that I had been a part of, there was a real effort to try to be what was. And I had zero desire for that. Life is about evolving. And, you know, let's evolve. What was. Let's let it stay there. And with Dream Trips, what drew me to it was the vision that the CEO, Mark Smith, has, and his wife, Tammy, have. And, you know, and the strategy I thought was so smart, and that the focus of the company is really on utilization of the membership, of the service, get out there and travel. And that it's the one thing that the former company really did not put an emphasis on. They put an emphasis on the training, and the training was brilliant. It was incredible. And, you know, I have all positive things to say, overwhelmingly positive things to say about the training. However, this is a new day. And right now, coming out of COVID, what people want is they want to experience life. They're not interested in going out and buying, you know, all the stuff. I mean, some people are, but what they really want is the experience, and with friends and families and the people that are closest to them. And so we all know that people don't remember what they got for Christmas 5 years ago, but they absolutely remember the vacation they took 20 years ago. And so we have the thing that people already want. And with the strategy that we have, that's very product, you know, using the product, and it's centered around that. And we have an extraordinary compensation plan. I was like, this makes a lot of sense. Not to mention they had 15 or have 15 years of empirical data that shows what the former company did well and what did not go so well. So now we have really what I would say is a map that acts as a, you know, it's a guide for us. And so we are not bound to make the same mistakes that the other company made, simply because we know what they are. And we also know why those decisions were made. And I'm saying we, it's not like me, I don't know, but the owner does, the CEO does. So I had a lot of confidence in that. And the last thing I'll just say is that people want to travel. I know they do. And I wanted to only focus on travel. I didn't want to sell this and travel, you know, this and travel. I didn't want to have competing verticals. I wanted to just be able to do one thing and really do it better than everyone else. And Dream Trips has an incredible brand name to it. And so to me, everything just really lined up. And it wasn't perfect at first. Let me be really clear. I'm not the hype guy. I'm not, and you and I both know, it
Yeah.
wasn't perfect at first, but most new companies that are starting up aren't. And now we have 100% found our groove.
Oh, yeah.
Zero doubt. Like we're in the pipeline. Like we're in it now. And it's like game
We're
on.
surfing that wave, baby.
Yeah, yeah. And no disrespect to any other companies, but that have lotions and potions or whatever. There's some very good companies, and there's amazing leaders in those companies, and I'm, and so all props. It's just not what I want to do.
Yeah.
So there you have it.
Oh, I love it. And look, Martin, I know that there's a lot of leaders out there, and you and I
Yeah.
are both business entrepreneurs outside of this. I used to own 13 gyms. I know you've got your own fitness studio with your beautiful wife, and have created success outside of the network marketing industry. And often what tends to happen with people who are outside running traditional businesses or leaders in corporate, there's a lot of judgment and ego about, oh, you're doing one of those things, like it's the network marketing, the MLM.
Yeah.
I don't want to do one of those things. And I think what we have is very different and very unique with DreamTrips International specifically. But I'd love you to just touch on that for the anti-MLMers, the anti-network marketers, why this is such an incredible industry.
Sure.
And specifically layered with DreamTrips as a company.
Yeah, absolutely. And I really appreciate and respect this question because it's real. I get it. The industry overall, it does have a challenging reputation. The industry does. However, there are profoundly successful companies within the industry. Some of these companies own sports teams. Some of these companies, they sponsor major sports teams, not just in the United States, but around the world. And so it's a legitimate business. And the way I look at it is I look at it as a side hustle. I look at it from the perspective of this is a brilliant side hustle that we can leverage a system and a compensation plan and a platform that we don't have to create ourselves. And so it's a legitimate business. It's just as legitimate as Wells Fargo Bank, and somebody's like, well, banking's not legitimate. So it's just legitimate as Canon, it's just as legitimate as a company that makes this microphone, that makes this hat. Okay. And the reality is that if you treat it like a business and you really work it that way, it can pay extraordinarily well. And one of the things that's so great about this is that because it's a side hustle, it does not demand your complete full attention to be able to make an additional $500,000, $1,500, $2,000 a month, and frankly, more. Yeah. And so it's set up to be something that is in addition to what you're currently doing. And to me, in this day and age, everybody's looking for not everybody, most everyone is looking for a side hustle. Most everyone is looking also for a way to stay at home and spend more time with their kids. In the United States, it's called the Great Resignation. In fact, it's a global thing, but I'll just speak about certainly in the United States, the Great Resignation is quite real. Understand, this is a fact. 62 million jobs were lost in the travel sector alone during the pandemic in 2.5 years. $4.2 trillion was just went evaporated from the industry. So what the reality is that it not only changed that industry, it changed life as we know it. And right now with the Great Resignation, there's over 7 million dads, men, that are not going back into the workforce in the way they used to. Why? Because they want to stay at home and they want to hang out with their kids. Priorities have shifted. Yeah. And so people are looking for a side hustle. To me, this is the most sense to me because there's no physical product. We don't own these resorts. And so what's great about it is we're not bound or at the mercy of supply chains. We're not struggling for ingredients. We don't have to deal with heavy duty, taxation and tariffs and blah, 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 blah. So we have the thing that most everyone already wants. And you said it earlier, most people are working very, very hard to be able to take a vacation, to be able to get away once or twice a year. And if they can get away more than that, hey, that's incredible. With our platform, they can. And so we've systemized the art of travel, the art of escaping, and we do it through DreamTrips. So to me, anyone that's looking at this, it's not for everyone, but
Yeah.
what is, right? What is, but it certainly is for a lot of people. So
I love it. I love it. And Martin, I've got another question, because there's always another question. So right now we have the biggest promotion, the biggest announcement in DreamTrips history.
Yeah.
Our owner and CEO, Mark Smith, he has really rebirthed this company in the biggest possible way he can with our announcement that now anyone can join for $1 and have 500 loyalty points, which is 500 real dollars loaded right there that you can use towards condos, hotels, and cruise bookings. And then you get rewarded when you book in our platform, because you get 25% credit back with more loyalty credit that you can go on more holidays, and that never expires. And wait, it gets better. After 6 months of being a member, we now are sending our members, our dream trippers, on a free cruise. And oh my goodness, like really, my brain was broken. It was like the ad. There's, would you like steak knives? There's more. So given that, we are having explosive growth, not just here in Australia, New Zealand, our Oceania region, but around the globe. So I've never seen a sign-up frenzy like this, and like literally people who've never done this before, people who've struggled and not had the success, signing up like 30 people in 3 days. So from your perspective, why now?
Because you just said it. I mean, for real, you just hit the nail on the head. It's tremendous value for $1. And the funny thing is that immediately some people hear $1 and they're like, what's the catch? Can't be real. What, straight up, there is no catch, zero. And you and I were talking about this earlier. It's $1. Like,
it's a $1 decision, people.
That's what it is.
You would pay more for this highlighter.
Yes. You can't even go to McDonald's and order something off the dollar menu and only pay $1. That's it. It's $1. Now, by the way, there's VAT in certain countries. Okay, but I mean, give me a break. But here's the thing. I mean, it's $1, and so there is no risk. There's no risk. Zero. Come on. And so look, if somebody wants to cancel within the, before the 30 days is up, and, because you get billed for the monthly in your, after 30 days, cool, then go ahead and cancel. But the whole idea is get in and kick the tires. That's why you're being given 500 loyalty points. I mean, it's massive. So get in and experience it and see what it's all about. What have you got to lose? $1? Give me a break. You're going to spend $1 today without even knowing it. You've already spent $1 today on something. So to me, it's just, it's not that it's great marketing. It's not a great marketing idea. It's just part of an exceptional strategy that has met its time. And the product is dialed in. The product is legit. The service, it's all come together. And so to be able to experience it for $1, it just couldn't be better. So, I kind of don't want to over explain it because it's $1, right? How much information do you need to make a $1 decision? Right.
I know. And it's funny, people, our brains, we start to go into that overdrive in overthinking things, and it sounds too good to be true. And, it does sound good to be true because it is too good to be true. But $1, jump in and break the system, like book a holiday, put $500 on a cruise. And if you don't like it, leave.
Yeah,
It's
and here's
okay.
the thing. Yeah, and here's the thing, and this is the thing that I think is intriguing, is that the product, the service, fantastic. From a business perspective, from a side hustle, you understand that, and I'm speaking to whoever's watching this, okay? Do you understand that you can get started with this for $1 and you can go out and share this with other people right now and they'll get in for $1? What if you went out and you introduced this to 10 friends? You could do that today. You introduced it to 10 friends. They all get started. They go out and tell 10 friends who get started. Now you have a team of 100. What if all of them, get just the standard membership, and, literally in 2 months, you could be earning a minimum of $400 on a residual basis. Show me the thing show me a platform that allows you to get started for $1 and winds up paying you $400, in residual income 60 days later. But that's lowballing it. It could be much, much higher. We already have people that in the last 3 days have built teams of 150, 250 people already. We've had just in this organization, my organization, we've had way over 100 members coming in every day. So it's an incredible opportunity to set yourself up for the rest of the year and the rest of your life, frankly, with residual income. So to be able to get access to that for $1 is remarkable.
Yeah, I love that. And I remember, Martin, the very first time I met you, and this is a question that I always ask any top leader anytime I meet them, it was, if you had the chance to start over again, what would you do differently? And the answer that you gave me back then is, I wish I'd gone faster sooner. I wish I had gone
100%.
all in at the beginning.
Yeah.
And obviously this promotion finishes at the end of April. So we've got less than 2 weeks. So this next 2 weeks is really critical. And, with our team, like some of our leaders are literally like taking leave, like clearing their schedules, like, sending the kids off to the grandparents and just totally focusing on this. We laughed this morning. We said it's team no sleep for the next 2 weeks.
Right.
What is actually possible, like if you really focused on this for this next 2 weeks, what level, and I know that we can't make any income promises, right? Because, we are very big on compliance, and you need to take action with this. You need to be coachable. You've got to follow the system and all of those good things.
Right.
But from your heart, no BS, no hype, no fluff, what do you see is really possible with this next 2 weeks if someone was laser focused and really went all in with this?
What I just said, I mean, for real, to build a team of 100 in 2 weeks where everyone's paying $1, that is the great equalizer. Okay. It's $1. The value of this, the value of what someone is getting for it, for their $1. There's people that have paid $1,500, for this. They spent $500.
And it was worth every cent.
It's worth every cent. Absolutely. I mean, there's heaps of people all over the world that have been spending, anywhere from $200 to $1,500 for what you're getting, what everyone else is now getting for $1. And that's without all the loyalty points and everything else. So here's what I would say. I would say, here's what's really possible. You could build a team of 1,000. That's, honest to God, really possible, especially in your neck of the woods, as we would say, in Australia, New Zealand. It's the opportunity is so ripe there. There's so many people that are familiar with this platform. And some people, we know that some people have seen this and they're incredibly intrigued. And now that it's $1, I know your phone's been blowing up, and you're getting in people.
We had to hire a VA just to handle all of the inboxes. It's insane.
Yeah. So listen, I mean, hey, think big. I think big is 1,000 members. straight up, I mean, I believe you and your team will add well over 1,000 members in the next 2 weeks, well over that. But think about being, if you're seeing this, think about being able to participate in that. What if you had 500 members in your team and everyone's paying $4? Everyone's residually pays you $4 per month. I mean, $2,000 in 60 days. Like, that's real. And there's higher levels of residual that can be earned. That would be the bare minimum. So that's what I think is possible. And, we have the system set up for it. This is moving very quickly because of the $1 price tag. And because people realize I've got nothing to lose, I might as well check it out. And what we're finding is people are getting in and they're peeling back the covers, the layers, and they're like, holy smokes, this thing is good. Wow. Yeah. And now they're going out and telling their friends. So my advice would be, anyone watching this, like, if you're already a member, get into the game and start sharing this. Don't let this slip through your fingers. You will have a moment where you're like, damn it. It's that moment of frustrating regret. Don't let that happen to you. And if you haven't joined yet, get in the game. It's really the same message. Don't let this slip through your fingers. It's too good. And an opportunity like this truly doesn't come by very often at all. And, I know that sounds cliche, but things are cliche because they're real, because, because it's the reality of things. So yeah, so there we have it.
Oh my goodness, I'm so inspired. I'm so excited. I've never seen anything like this in the history of my life. So Martin, look, thank you so much for jumping on. Guys, if you're watching this and you would like to find out how to get started, just drop some ones in the comments. That's all you got to do. And then between Martin, myself, our VA, and our team of leaders, we will absolutely make sure that you're hooked up with the right person so that we can help you. And I'm also really curious, out of this interview with Martin, what have you loved the most? What have you learned? We love feedback. Feedback is the breakfast of champions. Of course, if you have any questions, feel free to drop those as well. But don't overthink this, guys. It's literally a $1 decision. So Martin, is there any final words that you'd love to share?
Hey, just, I go back to the first things I said. I'm just so excited to be able to work with you. I'm excited for the vision that you have. You have lit me up. You've expanded my thinking. And that's the beautiful thing about this. It's a beautiful thing about partnership and teamwork and coming together, is that a rising tide lifts all the ships. And, we get to be the tide, right? We're not the ships. We are the ships, but we also get to participate in being the flow of the tide. And I am very, very excited to circle back. I mean, obviously we'll be talking a lot, but for us to look back 60 days from now, 90 days, 6 months from now, because I believe we'll look back at this moment and go, okay, remember
today was that day.
Yeah, absolutely. So thank you for everything you're doing. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Martin. I've been up since 1 o'clock in the morning with Martin. We're on an incredible training call, and the support that we have, not just with our leadership team, but from corporate, from Mark and Tammy, is just absolutely blows my mind. I feel like I've won a lotto. I feel like this is a dream come true. And I love what you shared, Martin. And, just to wrap up, it costs nothing to dream bigger. And whatever you aim, like if you aim at nothing, you're guaranteed to hit it. If you aim at the moon, even if you miss, you land amongst the stars. And for me, when I very first saw Martin share on stage, I was like, wow, if Martin can make a 7-figure income out of this, maybe I could too, because it's possible. And then once I saw this new compensation plan and, what was possible from a business mindset, having seen thousands of businesses, I thought, wow, you can actually make $1 million months in this thing. Like, this is insane. So my personal mission for this is to actually help 10,000 people to make a residual income of 10,000 or more, working less than 10 hours a week, and be able to take 10 or more dream holidays, making memories with their family every single year. And really what this is a vehicle to get free and to be happy. So with that, Thank you, Martin. Thank you for watching. We really appreciate your time, and we look forward to seeing you on the beaches of the world.
Thank you. Bye-bye.